The Grand Imperial Ambassador of the Zix Sinari Empire strode into the United Nations General Assembly, his purple-tinted skin shimmering under the harsh glare of Earth's artificial lights. Can you imagine the audacity? His ceremonial robes, heavy with clinking metals that jangled with every exaggerated gesture, screamed, "Look at me!" But, oh, they failed to impress. "People of Earth," he boomed, his translator turning his alien clicks and whistles into sharp, crisp English. "I bring the final word of his most luminous and exponentially expanding magnificence. Emperor CDZ, the unpronounceable." He paused, chest puffed, clearly expecting gasps of awe. Instead, a ripple of poorly stifled snickers echoed through the room. Can you believe it? The ambassador's secondary breathing holes twitched in pure annoyance. "Our mighty empire," he declared, voice dripping with pomp, spanning 27,000 star systems and ruling over 300 sentient species, has deemed your civilization utterly insufficiently serious about joining the galactic community. The UN Secretary-General, a retired comedian from New Zealand with a wicked sense of humor, coughed into his hand. Did it sound like compensating for something? Oh, absolutely. Therefore, the ambassador thundered, trying to drown out the growing whispers. "We hereby declare formal hostilities against your planet. You have 24 Earth hours to surrender unconditionally or face the consequences." Can you even fathom the nerve? The Chinese representative raised her hand, cool as a cucumber. "Quick question, did you really travel 16 light years just to tell us you're declaring war because we're not serious enough?" The ambassador's thorax puffed up like a balloon. "Correct," he snapped. "Your species responds to our solemn diplomatic overtures with these memes. You replied to our cultural exchange request with something called Rick Rolling. You named your first faster-than-light vessel Bodie McBoatface 2, Electric Boogaloo." The Russian delegate, leaning back with a smirk, chimed in. "To be fair, that was a public vote, comrade." The ambassador's translator somehow captured his confusion and outrage as he spat. "You sent us a formal diplomatic package containing, and I quote, 'D's nuts.'" The room was on the verge of losing it. Can you picture the chaos? The Brazilian representative rose, her face a masterpiece of forced calm. "Ambassador, with all due respect to his most, exponentially whatever," she said, barely holding it together. "Have you considered that maybe, just maybe, you're proving our point?" The ambassador's headpiece wobbled dangerously. "Explain," he demanded. "Well," she gestured at his glittering outfit. "You're standing here looking like a disco ball got frisky with a military parade, threatening war because we don't take you seriously enough. Don't you see the irony?" The American representative leaned forward, grinning ear to ear. "Yeah, you might even call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, buddy." Oh, the shade. The ambassador's skin flushed from purple to a wild shade of mauve. "This is exactly the behavior we're talking about," he roared. "You treat everything like a joke." The Secretary-General, wiping tears of laughter from his eyes, finally lost his battle with composure. "Not everything, mate," he chuckled. "Just the stuff that's funny. And right now, you're absolutely hilarious." The assembly dissolved into barely contained laughter, and the ambassador's heart sank. Had he just made a colossal mistake? Orders were orders, though, and the Empire had spoken. He drew himself up to his full height. Though, let's be real, humans towered over his species by a good foot. "You have 24 hours, he barked. "Choose wisely." As he stormed out, the French representative called after him. "Don't forget to click your heels 3 times on your way out." The audacity. The doors hadn't even slammed shut before the assembly erupted into uncontrollable hilarity. Humanity's first interstellar war was about to kick off, and it was already a total comedy of errors. The emergency UN Security Council meeting was called an hour after the ambassador's dramatic exit, but it dragged on for 6 hours, not because of any crisis management, but because nobody could stop laughing long enough to form a full sentence. "Order, order," the Secretary-General bellowed, banging his gavel and wiping tears from his eyes. "We've got to figure out Earth's official response to this so-called war declaration." The German representative, clutching his sides, wheezed. "I propose we send them a formal declaration of no, you." Can you imagine the nerve of that suggestion? The Indian representative, giggling between words, managed to say, "With all due respect, We should take this somewhat seriously. They do have a fleet. The Mexican delegate, ever the realist, pointed out. A fleet that took 16 years to get here. You know what that means. We've got at least 16 years to prep our defenses. Those purple drama queens gave us a decade and a half head start. The Japanese representative stood, her face suddenly grave, and the room hushed, expecting profound wisdom. I propose, she said solemnly, we establish the first Earth Defense Force, the Meme Division. Silence hung for about 3 seconds before someone in the back yelled, Space Force 2, Electric Boogaloo. And the room exploded into laughter again. Oh, what a moment. But the idea took root. Within hours, #AlienKaren was trending worldwide. Social media platforms lit up with content faster than the Empire's fastest ships could dream of traveling. TikTok users were already choreographing dances to the ambassador's speech, zooming in on that wobbling headpiece for maximum effect. The Brazilian representative's phone buzzed, and she gasped. Oh my gosh, someone's already dropped an auto-tune remix. It's pure gold. Put it on speaker, the room demanded. The remixed speech blared through the chamber, set to a pounding beat. Your civilization is insufficiently serious bass drop about joining the galactic community. Can you feel the vibes? This is it, the British representative declared, leaping to his feet. This is our defense strategy. They declared war because we're not serious enough? Let's show them just how gloriously unserious we can be. 3 hours later, the UN's official response was beamed via quantum communication straight to the Empire's flagship, a masterpiece of diplomatic trolling. Dear His Most Luminous and Exponentially Expanding Magnificence. Got inflation issues, huh? It read, We, the people of Earth, having received your declaration of war, respond as follows. 1. LOL. 2. LMAO. 3. Furthermore, Raffle. We hereby declare our intention to keep being absolutely insufferable. We won't surrender, but will graciously send you our finest cat video collection as a peace offering. P.S. Your ambassador's headpiece is giving us second-hand embarrassment. Please hook him up with something less extra. Sincerely, humanity. P.P.S. We took the liberty of setting up a TikTok account for your empire. You're welcome. The Chinese representative insisted on one final touch. A gif of a cat knocking stuff off a table, captioned, Your empire's threats be like. Oh, the brilliance. Meanwhile, Earth's newly formed meme warfare division was in full swing. The Australian director, a retired professional poster with a knack for chaos, had one mission: make the Empire regret their obsession with seriousness. Civilian contributions flooded in. Someone rebuilt the entire war declaration in Minecraft, block by block. Another genius translated it into UW speak, and a group of linguistics professors dropped a paper analyzing the statistical link between the Empire's pomposity and their apparent humor deficiency. Can you believe the dedication? Sir, a junior analyst burst into the UN command center, breathless. You've got to see this. The Empire's communication channels are getting flooded. On the main screen, millions of Earth's finest memes were blasting into every Imperial device. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up looped endlessly on their military frequencies, while their propaganda channels were overtaken by images of cats in tiny space helmets. The Secretary General leaned back, a smug grin spreading across his face. And so it begins, he proclaimed. The Great Meme War of 2024. Someone in the back started humming the final countdown, and within minutes, the entire command center was rocking air guitars. Can you feel the energy? Aboard the Imperial flagship, Grandiloquent Purpose, the Empire's top intelligence analysts were spiraling into collective nervous breakdowns. This makes no sense. Chief Analyst ZB roared, slamming his tentacles against the holographic display. They're facing the mightiest military force in the known galaxy, and they respond with, What even is this nonsense? His assistant pulled up Earth's latest transmission, a human in a shoddy cardboard replica of the ambassador's robes prancing around, mimicking his speech with exaggerated flair. The video had racked up billions of views across the galaxy in just 6 hours. Perhaps, junior analyst MXELP ventured nervously. It's some kind of psychological warfare? Can you imagine their confusion? The emergency strategy meeting was a disaster. Admiral Vexit, a decorated veteran of 16 planetary conquests, stared at the briefing screen, all three of his eyes twitching. "Can someone explain," he asked with eerie calm, "why our battlecruiser pilots are getting thousands of messages asking if their quantum drives are running?" A lieutenant cleared his throat, trembling. "When our pilots say yes," the humans reply, "then you better catch it." The admiral's skin flared deep crimson. "And our response," he growled. "3 destroyer captains have already requested early retirement." One wrote in his resignation, "I cannot serve in a military that's become a galactic laughingstock." Oh, the humiliation. In the Cultural Analysis Department, Professor Ether was struggling to explain human behavior to the Imperial High Command. "You see," she said, pointing at her chart, "humans rely on something called sarcasm as their main communication style. When we threaten to annihilate their species, they just say, 'Oh no,' anyway. Our models predicted terror, not this." She gestured helplessly at a screen showing humans staging a flash mob outside their defense headquarters, dancing to a remixed Imperial anthem laced with fart noises. "Can you even comprehend the absurdity?" The Imperial propaganda minister burst in, looking utterly frazzled. "They've hacked our emergency broadcast system," he cried. "Every time we send a threatening message, it automatically tacks on something called uwu at the end." "Show me," the admiral demanded. The minister displayed their latest ultimatum: "Surrender now or face total annihilation, uwu." In the ship's meditation chamber, the ambassador was trying to keep his dignity while reporting to the emperor via quantum hologram. "Your most luminous magnificence," he said, bowing so low his headpiece nearly toppled. "The humans are weaponizing absurdity. Can you feel the desperation?" The emperor's massive form shifted uneasily on his throne. "Surely our military might," he began, but the ambassador cut in, voice trembling. "They've turned your last speech into a dance challenge. Your magnificence. It's trending across 3 galactic arms." The room fell silent, the weight of the situation sinking in. Humanity wasn't fighting with weapons, they were fighting with wit, and it was working. The Great Meme War had only just begun, and the Empire was already crumbling under the weight of its own pomposity. Oh, what a wild ride. The Emperor's massive, glowing form shifted uncomfortably on his throne, his radiant aura dimming with every anxious twitch. "Surely our military might," he began, his voice echoing with the authority of a ruler over 27,000 star systems. But the ambassador, his purple face slick with nervous sweat, cut him off with a shaky gasp. "They've turned your last speech into something called a dance challenge. Your magnificence. Can you even believe it? It's blowing up across 3 galactic arms." The Imperial Military Intelligence Director stormed into the meeting, his usual cool, professional vibe completely obliterated. "Your magnificence," he stammered, clutching a data pad like it was his last lifeline. "We've intercepted their primary defense strategy document. It's just a pile of images they call memes, starring this grumpy-looking cat creature sneering at our empire. How dare they mock us like this? Oh, the sheer audacity." Meanwhile, deep in the chaotic buzz of the Grandiloquent Purposes Communication Center, operators were straight up losing their minds, scrambling to keep protocol intact against a relentless barrage of human transmissions. "Sir, they're doing it again," a panicked lieutenant shouted, his tentacles flailing. "Doing what now, Lieutenant?" his superior snapped, eyes bulging. "Every single time we send a formal communication, they clap back with, 'New. Who dis?' It's driving us absolutely bonkers." Admiral Vexit slumped into his command chair, his once invincible fleet spiraling into total disarray. Half his ships were caught in a loop, trying to figure out why humans kept yammering about Ligma, while the other half, can you even imagine, was sneaking Earth memes through encrypted channels like rebellious teens. "Have we," he muttered, voice heavy with dread, "made a catastrophic tactical blunder here?" Oh, the sinking feeling in his gut. Professor Ether, who'd been obsessively studying human behavior, looked up from her data pad, her eyes wide and haunted, like she'd stared into the abyss of absurdity itself. "Sir," she whispered, voice trembling, "I don't think they're even trying to beat us. They're just having fun. And somehow, that's a million times worse." Right on cue, a new transmission pinged in from Earth, their official military response to the Empire's latest threats. And what was it? A chicken crossing the road joke, capped off with finger guns. Can you picture the ridiculousness? The admiral stared blankly into space, his decades-long career flashing before his eyes like a bad hollow flick. Contact High Command, he ordered, his tone dripping with defeat. Tell them we might need to rethink what a serious civilization even means. Behind him, a sly junior officer sneaked in ooh-woo onto the end of the message before hitting send. Oh, the cheek of it. Back on Earth, the UN Diplomatic Corps, now reborn as the Department of Intergalactic Trolling, was cooking up pure chaos. They fired off their first peace treaty proposal to the Empire, and get this, it was written entirely in emojis. Make sure, the Secretary General said with a devilish grin. We stuff in that eggplant emoji at least 17 times. I want their cultural analysts having full-on meltdowns trying to decode its meaning. The treaty kicked off with a wild combo of face with tears of joy nerdface rocket and only got more unhinged from there. A glorious mess of digital glyphs that screamed defiance. The Empire's top-tier translation AI churned away for 3 whole days before it threw up its virtual hands, declared electronic bankruptcy, and shut itself down in shame. Can you even fathom the meltdown? But that was just the appetizer. Earth's social media influencers had sniffed out a fatal flaw. The Empire's communication systems couldn't tell official diplomatic channels from their random posts. The fallout? Total catastrophe. A beauty blogger kicked off the Imperial Glow Up Challenge, where humans tried recreating the ambassador's over-the-top ceremonial makeup with dollar store glitter and craft glue. The trend went supernova, infecting the Empire's own youth, who, can you believe the nerve, started smuggling human cosmetics through shady black market channels. Your Magnificence, the Imperial Minister of Culture reported, his voice quaking. We've caught over 3 million of our citizens dabbling in this contouring madness. Morale's in the gutter. Oh, the scandal rocking the Empire. Even the Emperor himself couldn't dodge the chaos. Some Earth genius realized his absurdly long title, his most luminous and exponentially expanding magnificence, slotted perfectly into the tune of Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. The result? A viral musical extravaganza, with quantum physicists pirouetting through interpretive dance to break down exponential growth for the masses. It exploded across 17 star systems, racking up views faster than a supernova. Earth's meme warfare division, now running at full throttle, launched Operation Chaos Comedy, slinging out peace proposals so absurd they'd make anyone choke on their space coffee. Dear Empire, let's settle this with a dance-off. Losers gotta write a 5,000-word essay on why they're a silly Billy, no negotiations. P.S. Your ships are dummy thick. Is that even practical in space? Yours truly, Humanity, Minister of Sick Burns. Can you feel the savage wit? The Empire's cultural experts were dropping like space debris. Professor Ether's latest report was just the phrase, "Why are they like this?" scribbled 10,000 times, her sanity unraveling like a cheap spacesuit. Her assistant found her in the lab, surrounded by a fortress of Earth memes, muttering, "Reject humanity. Return to monkey." The humans had even hijacked the Empire's version of PowerPoint. Every high-stakes briefing was derailed by slides crammed with cheesy dad jokes, and military strategy sessions collapsed into anarchy when someone hacked the software to replace bullet points with tiny images of actual bullets flashing finger guns. Sir, the Imperial Tech Chief groaned. They've rigged our holographic displays to blast Nyan Cat every time we try to show battle plans. Our planning efficiencies cratered by 94%. Oh, the utter humiliation. The knockout blow landed when Earth unveiled their most elaborate peace treaty yet. A 500-page document that, when read aloud, was just the lyrics to "Never Gonna Give You Up," gussied up in stuffy diplomatic jargon. We, the representatives of Earth, hereby affirm our unwavering commitment to never initiating a process of surrender or desertion of our allies. The Empire's diplomatic corps slaved over it for a week until a teenager casually pointed out it was a rickroll. 3 senior diplomats immediately begged for transfers to the Empire's most far-flung colony, desperate to escape the embarrassment. Humans also figured out the Empire's ships ran on voice commands, so now every captain had to tack on. And I'm not doing a TikTok challenge. to stop the AI from busting into choreographed engine dances. Earth scientists, never ones to sit out the fun, submitted a 300-page paper to the Imperial Academy titled A Quantum Mechanical Analysis of Why Your Face, with peer-reviewed equations proving the Empire was, scientifically speaking, a bunch of cosmic party poopers. The Academy's review board needed a month-long vacation to recover from the mental whiplash. Can you grasp the sheer madness? Humans turned the Empire's menacing broadcasts into a drinking game. Every mention of superior might meant a shot. Bars across Earth were swimming in profits. The Empire's attempts to cling to dignity were crushed by Earth's latest diplomatic stunt, interpretive puppet shows. Every response to Imperial demands came with a sock puppet reenactment, the puppet ambassador's headpiece slapped together from disco balls and plastic spoons. We've got to crack their psychology, the Imperial High Commander roared. The next cultural analysis team limped back from Earth after just 2 days, all wearing t-shirts blaring. I went to Earth to study humans, and all I got was this lousy existential crisis. Their report was blunt. They're not taking this seriously because we demanded seriousness. We're the galaxy's helicopter parents, and they're rebellious teens. May the cosmic forces have mercy on our souls. Oh, the crushing despair. The final straw snapped when Earth's military response channel started blasting bass-boosted remixes of the Imperial Anthem, laced with cartoon boings and whoops. Admiral Vexit, watching his once mighty fleet reduced to a galactic punchline, scrawled in his log. Day 47. The humans have weaponized cringe. We were never ready for this. On Earth, the Department of Intergalactic Trolling raised a triumphant toast. Folks, the Secretary-General declared, eyes gleaming. In space, no one hears you meme, but by God, they feel it deep in their souls. Deep in the Empire's capital world, a revolution was brewing, not with blasters or battleships, but with something far more dangerous, humor. The movement, dubbed the Order of the Holy ROFL, rallied under a shoddily drawn stick figure flashing finger guns, their mission to spread the sacred art of not taking things so seriously. Welcome to today's meeting. Their leader, a young rebel going by Coramparum Lord 420XX, proclaimed, "Recite our sacred oath." The aliens raised their appendages in a synchronized dab, whispering, "When the going gets tough, the tough get me-ing." Can you feel the rebellious fire? The resistance tore through the Empire's youth like a supernova. Imperial Academy students started wrapping their thesis presentations with, "Thanks for coming to my TED Talk." Military cadets, bold as brass, called their officers fam and answered orders with, "Weird flex, but okay." The Empire's rigid social order was crumbling under the unstoppable weight of Gen Z humor that had leaped across species. "It's a crisis," the Imperial Minister of Social Order wailed, voice cracking. "We found bottom text sneaking into over 60% of our official documents." The Resistance's ultimate weapon? The Sacred Archives, a meticulously curated stash of Earth's most savage memes, smuggled through secure channels. Young Imperials were hooked on vibe checks, throwing the Cultural Preservation Academy into pandemonium by greeting professors with what's popping instead of the traditional 47-minute ceremonial bow. Underground parties binged contraband Earth content, with the History Channel's Aliens Guy rising as a rebel icon. Young Imperials even started twisting their head tendrils to mimic his wild hairdo. Can you picture the glorious anarchy? The Imperial military wasn't safe either. A shadowy group called Four Christs leaked classified documents exposing high-ranking officers caught using human slang. One general got the boot for capping a battle plan with, "And that's the tea, sis." The Empire's crackdowns only fanned the flames. Their anti-rebel propaganda was instantly remixed into chaotic YQPs. The Resistance's version of the Imperial Anthem, stuffed with air horns and D's nuts jabs, racked up more plays than the original, echoing through the stars. The movement was a tidal wave, fueled by Earth's unhinged humor and the Empire's desperate failure to keep up. Oh, what an unstoppable uprising. The breaking point hit like a supernova during an official Imperial parade, and oh, what a spectacle it was. As the Emperor's towering hologram flickered to life before the massive crowd, thousands of young Imperials, rebellious and bold, hoisted signs that screamed, "He do be vibin' though." Can you even imagine the Emperor's shock? The footage leaked faster than a quantum drive to Earth's Department of Intergalactic Trolling, and it became an instant classic, shared across the galaxy with gleeful abandon. Resistance cells, buzzing with defiance, cooked up their own secret code, blending stuffy imperial formalities with Earth's juiciest memes. Picture this. By the sacred light of his magnificence, this meeting is SUS, or the Empire's claims of superiority are based, but not in the way they think. And, oh, the audacity. With all due respect to the throne, sir, this is a Wendy's. How could the Empire keep a straight face? The Empire's intelligence services were utterly helpless, floundering like a ship in a cosmic storm. Their most advanced surveillance AI, built to crush rebellion, started sassing back to intercepted resistance messages with LMAO, same. Can you believe the betrayal? Parents across the Empire were in a panic, reporting their kids pulling poggers' faces, calling things absolutely yeeted. And, worst of all, developing a sense of humor. The Resistance's crowning glory came when they hacked the Empire's official communication channels. For 6 glorious, chaotic hours, every single Imperial transmission ended with a cheeky "ooh," or "thanks for coming to my TED Talk." The galaxy was in stitches. Underground newsletters spread forbidden knowledge like wildfire, with headlines screaming, "Top 10 Earth memes the Empire doesn't want you to see. Number 7 will make you question your allegiance to his magnificence." The Empire's cultural experts, already stretched thin trying to decode Earth's humor, were now drowning in their own youth's bizarre hybrid memes. Pictures of the Emperor captioned, "When you try to conquer Earth, but they start speaking in memes," followed by a barrage of 50 laughing emojis. Oh, the glorious chaos. The Resistance's message surged to every corner of Imperial space, unstoppable as a meteor shower. Their manifesto, a wild mix of formal Imperial jargon and internet slang, became the most shared document in the Empire's history. We hold these truths to be straight bussin. No cap, FRFR, that all sentient beings are created based, endowed by their creators with unalienable rights, including but not limited to the pursuit of dank memes. Can you feel the rebellion's fire? As the Empire's social order crumbled like a poorly built starship, the Resistance grew bolder by the second. Flash mobs popped up in government buildings, performing choreographed dances to remixed Imperial anthems that echoed with irreverence. Young Imperials, once bound by tradition, started capping their mandatory loyalty oaths with a defiant, "Psych." The sheer nerve of it all. The final report from the Empire's Social Order Maintenance Division was a gut punch, reading like a surrender. It's over. They've learned to laugh. May whatever gods exist have mercy on our perfectly ordered society. In their secret headquarters, the Order of the Holy ROFL raised their energy drinks in a triumphant toast. "Remember, brothers and sisters," their leader bellowed, voice brimming with pride. "The real galactic conquest was the memes we made along the way." Can you imagine the victory vibes? The Empire's diplomatic corps, fed up and defeated, submitted their mass resignation in the form of a PowerPoint presentation, each slide blasting different versions of the "This is fine" dog meme, with the final slide declaring, "We out. Peace," followed by a mic drop gif that screamed finality. The Emperor stared at the resignation letter, his luminous glow fading to a confused flicker. "What in the cosmos does Emma head out mean?" he muttered, baffled. "And why is it paired with a primitive Earth drawing of a sponge?" His few remaining advisors shuffled awkwardly, too embarrassed to answer. The head of Imperial Protocol had already bailed after young officers started responding to formal orders with, "Oof, boomer." Oh, the humiliation. The military situation was an absolute dumpster fire. The mighty Imperial fleet, once the terror of 27,000 star systems, was grappling with what their reports politely called comprehensive morale issues. "Your Magnificence," Admiral Vexit reported, his voice strained to breaking. "The crews they're refusing to maintain proper decorum." "Explain," the Emperor roared, his glow pulsing with fury. "The Third Battle Fleet has ditched all formal call signs for what they call gamer tags," Vexit said, his color shifting to a sickly puce. "The flagship Eternal Glory now goes by XXN0SC0PXX420, and the crew insists it's way more poggers." Can you even fathom the disgrace? The Imperial Military Academy's graduation ceremony turned into pure anarchy when the entire graduating class, instead of delivering the traditional 7-hour loyalty pledge, broke into the Macarena, chanting, "Empire machine broke." The crowd went wild. In a desperate bid to regain control, the Emperor scheduled an emergency empire-wide broadcast. It was a disaster of galactic proportions. "My loyal subjects," he began, his voice booming across the stars. "This foolishness must SASH." Someone in the broadcast room hollered, cutting him off. The Emperor's glow flared a dangerous red. "Who dares?" he started, but another voice piled on. "Ratio plus L plus no planets plus touch grass." The broadcast spiraled into madness when someone cranked up a bass-boosted version of the Imperial Anthem, complete with blaring air horn sounds. The Empire's last functioning cultural analysis team threw in the towel, submitting a final report before begging for transfers to the Department of Watching Paint Dry. Current status of Imperial authority: military discipline, yeet. Diplomatic relations, big oof. Social order, instructions unclear, got stuck in washing machine. Overall situation: for a moment, can you feel the Empire's collapse? The Emperor made one last, desperate attempt to rally his forces, commissioning the finest propagandists to craft a serious, intimidating message to Earth. What did they deliver? A TikTok dance challenge, claiming it would hit different. The military's final breakdown came during an attempted show of force. The elite Imperial Guards, ordered to perform their fearsome traditional march, instead unleashed a flawless recreation of Michael Jackson's Thriller dance, complete with synchronized head tentacle twitches. In the Imperial Palace, the Emperor watched his authority disintegrate in real time. His last loyal admiral approached, clutching reports now written entirely in Earth's UW speak. "Your Magnificence," the admiral stammered. "The F-fleet is having a whittle bit of a problem." The Emperor's glow flickered dangerously. "Is there anyone left in this empire who can speak normally?" he roared. "Flesh out of now, Mao, my dude," the admiral replied, dabbing as he moonwalked out of the throne room. Oh, the sheer betrayal. The final straw snapped when the Empire's most sophisticated AI, tasked with maintaining order across all systems, started replying to every command with, "New, who dis?" or "didn't ask plus ratio." In his private chambers, the Emperor sat, defeated, watching a montage of his empire's collapse set to Earth's Smash Mouth All-Star. His civilization, built over millennia of rigid protocol, had been reduced to what Earth's historians were already dubbing the galaxy's biggest brum moment. He grabbed his ceremonial communication device, its screen flooded with notifications from something called Space Twitter, and made the toughest call of his reign. "Connect me to Earth's leaders," he commanded, voice heavy with resignation. The reply zipped back instantly. "First time? Can you feel the sting?" Peace negotiations unfolded on a neutral space station, cheekily renamed Club L by the humans. The Emperor's arrival was heralded by someone blasting the Imperial March on a kazoo. Talk about disrespect. The Earth delegation strutted in wearing t-shirts proclaiming, "I survived the Great Meme War," paired with formal diplomatic pants for that extra sass. The Imperial delegation, clinging to tradition, showed up in ceremonial robes but accessorized with Guy Fawkes masks. "Let's get this party started," the UN Secretary-General announced, kicking things off with a presentation titled Peace Treaty 2, Electric Boogaloo. The resulting document made galactic history as the first peace treaty to include a vibe check clause and a mandate to keep it real. The signature page? A masterpiece with both government seals arranged to form a surprised Pikachu face. Key terms included the Empire officially recognizing Earth as based AF, mandatory comedy workshops for Imperial diplomats, an annual galactic meme exchange summit, and joint research into why Earth's always so extra. Can you imagine the galactic glow-up? The Empire's transformation was swift and jaw-dropping. The Imperial Palace, once a fortress of unyielding authority, morphed into the galaxy's hottest comedy club. The Emperor's new groove became its signature show, with the Emperor himself, can you believe it, doing stand-up about his former pomposity. "So there I was," he'd tell packed audiences, his bioluminescence nailing the punchlines. thinking I could scare a species that named their first contact protocol ED phone home. The former Imperial Military Academy rebranded as the Universal University of Vibing and Applied Humor, with its blockbuster course, Advanced Memology 401, converting military declarations into TikTok trends. Booked solid every semester, Earth's influence spread like a cosmic wildfire. The galaxy's first intergalactic reality show, Keeping Up with the Imperials, chronicled the Empire's makeover, with the episode where the Emperor learned to dab, shattering all broadcasting records. Cultural exchange programs exploded. Young Imperials flocked to Earth to master the ancient art of posting, while human comedians toured former Imperial worlds, preaching the gospel of dad jokes. The old Imperial capital transformed into Space Broadway, with theaters staging everything from classic Earth comedies to avant-garde alien takes on human memes. The smash hit Hamilton, but everyone is a confused alien trying to understand Earth history ran for 10 straight cycles. Even the military found new purpose. The Imperial fleet, now the Party Patrol, became legends for crashing planetary celebrations with dazzling light shows and synchronized ship choreography. Their formation-flying rendition of Never Gonna Give You Up was pure legend. The final transformation came when the Emperor ditched his old title, his most luminous and exponentially expanding magnificence, for the galaxy's chief vibing officer. His first act? Founding the Department of Keeping It Real. Can you feel the cosmic shift? Years later, historians would hail this as the dawn of the galaxy's golden age of comedy. The former empire, once a rigid hierarchy of pomp and protocol, became the entertainment capital of known space. On Earth, the Department of Intergalactic Trolling, now a prestigious diplomatic post, hung a small plaque to honor the war won not with weapons, but with wit. Here lies the Empire's dignity. They never had one. 2024 to 2024. Gone, but Loki, never really there. The Emperor, now a galactic influencer with millions of followers, ended his broadcasts with a signature line. Kids, trying to suppress human humor is like trying to out Pizza the Hut. It just ain't happening. Smash that like button, subscribe for more intergalactic shenanigans, and peace out, space fam. Somewhere in the Empire's sprawling bureaucracy, tucked among critical historical documents, sat a single sheet of paper. Written in formal imperial script and Comic Sans, it held the lesson that reshaped a civilization. The real power move is learning to laugh at yourself. The end. Oh, what a legacy.